Welcome to my free writing course. My name is Mahsuda. Today I'm going to give you 3 tips for writer's block. Now, all writers have experienced writer's block in some way. They might not call it writer's block, but it might be that they just get stuck on a particular idea or they don't know how to move a story forward. So what I'm going to talk about today is how you can navigate around the obstacles that are stopping you writing. My first tip is really a preemptive tip for when you do get stuck with your writing. So tip number 1 is to put all of your writing ideas in notebooks. I'd probably spend more money on notebooks than shoes. That's how much I love notebooks. Something that can happen when you've got writer's block is other ideas start to lure you away from the idea that you're working on. And what I used to do is try and ignore those ideas. But then they tend to come back and haunt you. Then you end up giving up on that other idea and starting something else that you never end up finishing. So every time I feel I've got a really good idea now, I start jotting it down in a notebook. And here is just a sample of some of the notebooks I have. I have many, and that's just some. So if I come up with something that goes with one of those ideas, I just jot it down, leave it on the side. I guess it's a way of telling that idea that I've addressed you and I will come back to you later. But what's really useful about jotting down all your ideas is that you can then use those ideas if you get writer's block, which will be really useful for tip number 2, which is to keep on writing something. If you've got writer's block, sometimes it's a case that you're just really stuck on an idea, you have no idea how to get around that idea, and your brain is on overdrive, it doesn't know what to do, so it kind of goes into a scrambled state. So what I think is the best thing to do when your brain is on overdrive is just to put on the brakes for a bit. And the way you can do that is to start working on a different idea. That could be a short story or a journal entry or a poem, preferably something short so it doesn't completely take your attention away from the thing that you're stuck on. What's really easy to do when you get stuck with your writing is just to stop completely writing. Then you feel like a bit of a failure because you haven't written for a while. You start losing the momentum of when you do write regularly. So I think it's really helpful to keep on writing on something, but not necessarily the thing that you're stuck on. And that's when those notebooks come in handy because you can look at those ideas, maybe develop them a bit. And while you're doing that, your brain is still thinking about that problem you're having. And if you've got a deadline for something, maybe just give yourself a day off from that project. Hopefully that will be enough time to give your brain a little break from your problem. My number 3 tip is to be kind to yourself. If we've got a block or we're stuck on something with our writing, we can be so hard on ourselves. And when you're really stuck on something, you're going to feel frustrated, you're going to be annoyed with yourself. But as a writer, your greatest friend is yourself, so be kind to yourself. Think of something that will relax you. Maybe it's a walk around the local park. Maybe it's having a relaxing bath. Maybe it's watching a really good film or reading a really great book. And the funny thing that happens when you find something that relaxes you is that your brain relaxes. And when your brain relaxes, suddenly all these solutions come up. Often if I'm stuck with a particular scene or I don't know what to do with a character, it's when I'm doing another activity like walking or cleaning the house that the solution comes up. It's almost always when I don't have a pen. There seems to be something about switching off from your writing that makes your brain switch on. So really be kind to yourself and relax. It's usually when you least expect it that you find the answer to your writer's block. This was part of my free writing course. If you'd like to see more of these videos, then you can subscribe to my channel or buy me a coffee on the Ko-fi link below. Thank you for joining me, and remember, every writing journey is different, so find the path that works for you.